Let's take a look at a 2015 Q case assortment from Hot Wheels. This is a sampling of what you might find in your area when the 2015 Q cases arrive. This is an international case. The only difference is the packaging. Otherwise, most of these cars should be in your cases as well, but they will show up. They could show up in different amounts. You might have more of one car or less of another car. Or you might even have some cars that don't even show up. In this case, you'll find out when they hit your area. In the USA, these are showing up at Target. This is the Toyota off-road truck. Really like this model, even though you might think that it's not good for track time. Yeah, I will be doing track time. Matter of fact, my 2015 H case track time was kind of fun. I made the biggest track I've ever set up, 2 levels, and it did turn out to be a fun video. I'll put a link in the description for that one. That's the Toyota off-road truck. And then we have 69 Chevelle and Muscle Tone. That's a good track car as well. And you can post a suggestion or two for track time. That's your opportunity to get a chance at a shout out. This is good for me. Red, white, and blue. You have the Ford Mustang GT Concept, the 68 Mercury Cougar. That's a pretty good track car as well. But, you know, don't necessarily suggest cars that are only track cars. It's a chance at a shout out, but we also want to test cars that might not be good track cars. That's how we find out if a car's track compatible or not. 70 Plymouth Superbird, there's a couple of them. Lancia Stratus. Glad to see, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. That's how I've always pronounced it. Glad to see this one back in the lineup. Pretty cool little car, kind of spunky. I really like it. Look at the racing stripe on the other side. I hope they do some more recolors. I hope it's just not a one time and then we don't see it for a long time. Oh yeah. This guy did pretty good. I showed you a little snippet. That was the car that was in that little snippet. It was a different color though. Invader Wreck My Track. There's the green version. And here we have Tread Air. This model, when it first came out, the first release, it was not in stores very long. I hardly seen any of them. So it's kind of nice to see it back for those who like specific odd castings like this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, another model that's not been around for a while. Bifocal 2. Check out the shiny chrome. Nissan 370Z. Hey, another red, white, and blue. I try to prefer, even though I will collect this, here's D Muscle. Even though I will collect red, white, and blue like this, I kind of prefer patriotic red, white, and blue, so, you know, stars and stripes. Hey, Scorpedo, this is another one that I did in that video that I showed before. He was one of the models that I tested. He's a little, why'd they put him in this blister? He needs a bigger blister. He has that tail. Even though they've modified this, I think in the past the tail used to spin, but now it is no longer movable. Scorpedo. Custom 15 Ford Mustang. Yeah, very sharp. Except for whatever that is right there. What is that? I don't see it here. I see it here. Got a little bit of flashing from the metal body that should have not been in the finished version. Here you have the Humvee. I forget if it was this one or Matchbox. Used to have an opening hatch in the back. No longer opening hatch. Tesla Model S, very nice, sharp red. Look at the paint rubbing on the blister. Usually that doesn't affect the model though. Let's go. That's your fig for your mini figures. 70 Ford Escort RS 1600. This is the second color. This is just a flipped paint scheme of the first time it was released. The stripe, I think, was white and the body was blue. I don't remember what the window was last time, though. Check out the blue lights in the front. It's the blue windshield that comes down and forms that part right there. I still like it. I probably like the first one. I think the blue and white version was actually representative of what was in the Fast and Furious movie. And here we have the Chevy Silverado, 2 samples. Clear speeder. 2-timer. I like this color scheme. Looks good. A little menacing with that black and darker gray. Camaro convertible concept. We got a lot of paint rubbing in the packages. I said that it usually doesn't affect the model. I hope that's true, because people will not be happy. You open it up and then the other side's all messed up. There's a lot of paint rubbing there. So plowed. And here we have Rip Rod. He's a nice model. I like that paint scheme. 67 Austin minivan. This guy, I don't know how he gets to enjoy so many tempos. Well, I guess it's just two sides, right? The top, left and right. I guess that's three sides. But, you know, for the most part, they can't do every side, or they say they can't do every side for the $1 basic assortment. I say $1, but that's the USA price. Scion FRS, nice to see you back. It's been, I think, a couple years since it was a new model. Hover, I messed up. Hoverstorm, yeah, see, I'm doing better now. Now at least I catch myself. Hoverstorm, I did him in that track time video as well. By the way, if I've done a model in track time, I generally don't. I try not to use that model again for quite a few months. We want to test different models. There's lots of models in the case, and so I try not to repeat models. I try to wait like at least 6 to 8 months before I repeat. Here we have the Honda Racer, and if you did not know, this was one of the designer models that Mattel went to manufacturers. And you see the H. Can you see the H in the body design? Or should it be this way? H. So that's what Honda did. That was kind of cool for their submission. It goes back a few years. I did a video, I think it's Designers Challenge. So if you search YouTube for RaceGrooves Designers Challenge, you'll find that. Or hopefully I remember to put it in the description. There you have the Mad Manga and Speed Box. Pretty nice coloration on this one. I'm sure. I know a lot of young ladies like pink and purple, and guess what? This one's pink and purple, and it looks like it has the glow-in-the-dark wheels. Night Storm, so yeah, glow-in-the-dark wheels. If you have a little lady or even a young man who likes pink or purple, that's a nice one for their collection. Cadillac El Mirage. Let's see, what do we have for tampos? Nothing on the back. Nothing on the sides, nothing on the top. Oh, there are some nice tampos in the front. Got some grill work, you got the lights. Yeah, oh yeah, there is on the top. It was hard to see, but along the edge, you can see how it's got some tampo, silver tampo along the edge. Yeah, that's all right. I don't want a whole lot of tampos. Keep it nice and classy. Here's a Fiat 500, and this was an oops treasure hunt. It's not really a treasure hunt, right? But on the card, they put that treasure hunt information behind saying this is a treasure hunt, or they put the logo. It's not officially one of the treasure hunts. See, look, it's still there. So they did not catch the mistake over a period of a few weeks, and it wound up on this card as well. Maybe in the future that won't be there anymore. There's so many of them, it's not even rare. And everybody's hogging them up, so it's not going to be rare at all. You know, as far as value, Nitro Tailgater, 2 samples, Project Speeder. As for value, it's about supply and demand. And there is far too great of a supply for there to be any demand for that model. For it to be worth anything. I don't know why I'm not... Oh, okay, that's why I got the fender. I was thinking, how come I'm not getting any light over here? Well, there's no fender. That's why there's not a whole lot of light on that part right there. Project Speeder. Interesting concept model. Some people like it. I actually like this tampo, this color presentation. But as far as a model I'd like to collect, I have a few color samples, and that's good enough for me. It's not one that I'm going to want every color. Quicksand. There's a look at the top. Couple samples, and then we have a motorcycle. BMW K1300R for you motorcycle fans. That's another model. I don't collect a lot of bikes. Just want a couple samples, and I don't need a lot of extras. Ice Shredder. Is this the second color? I think there's only one color so far. I'm not sure. 65 Ford Ranchero. Here's a Mustang, 65 Mustang, 2+2 Fastback. 2 samples. Another Rip Rod. A Mustang, no tampos in the back, nothing in the front. It's got the racing stripes in the side. My stack is going to fall over. 90 Acura NSX. I like this. Like this very much. Yes, Subaru Brat. This was in, I think this was in my last case. But I'm glad to see it getting multiple case releases. So those people who didn't, maybe they didn't get the, what's before Q? MNOP. Maybe they didn't get the P case assortment in their area, and so it's in the Q case as well. So hopefully you get the Q case. I was looking at the wheel. I think they're supposed to be the same size. Should be. Big truck. Yep. Glad to see that one in the subsequent mix as well. Fast Fortress. Cool model. And here we have Ollie Rocket. This is actually a design car. I'll show you the back I'll show you the back in a second. So here you have the Ollie Rocket, and on the side it says Custom Motors. The tampo is not very good. It's a little sloppy on the tampo there. And you might think it's a wild fantasy design. Yes, it is. Well, it was actually designed. Hey, the information is not here. I showed a picture on my Instagram account, and if I remember, I'll put it here. If not, there's a link to my Instagram in the description. International packages don't have a lot of the extra information that the U.S. cards do. As a matter of fact, at the end of the video, I have the USA card. I might show it there, okay? Anyways, a kid designed this with the cooperation of Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make-A-Wish got the Ollie together with Oliver. That's his real name. They call it Ollie Rocket, but his name's Oliver E. And they got together. And Mattel worked with Oliver to make that car. Very cool. That'd be pretty cool to have your design made into a Hot Wheels model. And real quick on that note, Mattel doesn't necessarily really take submissions. They have a lot of designers, and so people ask me, hey, how do I contact Mattel to submit a design? Really, I don't think they really take suggestions, because they have a lot of designers and stuff. But you know, find Mattel's information on the internet and send them a message if you want. 96 Nissan 180SX Type X, quite a long name. And I know a lot of people are going to be looking for this model right here. You got some simple tail light tampos. It's kind of orangish, not a whole lot. There is a license plate tampo, and I don't know if it's going to show up on the screen. If you can read that, I can't get the light. I got my lights different today. Sorry. No tampos in the front. No, I don't think so. It doesn't look like there's orange or anything. Wow, this is nice and sleek. I really like. Hopefully this one gets a couple case insertions as well. Custom 62 Chevy. And we're getting down to the bottom. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a super treasure hunt. We did get the basic treasure hunt. I'm sure a lot of you already commented as to what it was. Grease Rod. This is a pretty wild model. And it's if you're on Netflix or the Hot Wheels YouTube channel, you've seen this cartoon. Pretty cool model. I like it. Pretty fun fantasy design, right? That's what it's about. Have fun with your cars. Here is the Lamborghini Sesto Elemental. Very nice. I like this. Some people might not like the color. I like it. I'm gonna buy every color of the Sesto Elemental. I'll tell you that right now. If you don't want them, I'll buy them. Not from you, if I find them in the store. Drifsta. Here we go. I think this one also had a reverse color. I'm not sure. 14 Corvette Stingray for you realistic fans. This might have been in the P case as well. And people say, why do they carry over colors? Well, just like I said, maybe you were not able to find it in, maybe you don't get the P case in your area and you get the Q case. Well, now you have a shot if your stores get the Q case. Aeropod. Same thing as to why are there multiples in the case? Well, that gives you a chance to get one and maybe somebody else. That's why there's multiples in the case. Power Surge. That's a cool model. And it's like an energy. It's like an energy segment. I forget. We're going to talk about these segments next month when the A cases hit, because Q case is the last assortment for 2015. My next video is going to be for A, and that'll start with the 2016 new models. Yeah, they typically start about September. And so my next upload will be with the A case assortment. I'm sorry I couldn't find my Ollie Rocket. It must be in the truck. Right now I'm getting ready to head back to the convention. So you'll see it soon enough when I get a chance. Anyways, this was the basic treasure hunt in the case. You have the Tread Air with the treasure hunt logo. You find that circle flame logo on a basic assortment model, and that is the treasure hunt. There's the logo on the hiding behind the car. That's your indication that this is a basic treasure hunt. I forget what the super was supposed to be for this one. I think it was that red truck that I showed you in the beginning. I'm not positive. People will correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that the Toyota off-road truck is the one that is a super in this case, if you get a chance. Look, treasure hunts are not guaranteed to be in every case, but if you're lucky, one of these will be in your case. Only one. There's not supposed to be two of this one. Sometimes you'll be lucky you get a super and a basic. Now the super is going to have rubber tires. These are regular plastic tires, but it'll also have special paint, rubber tires. And when you put the two together, you'll definitely know the difference in the quality of the model. Nonetheless, even if you don't find a treasure hunt, right, there's some very nice models in the case. I'm sure you're going to want to add this to your collection. And same with that red model, this one right here. I'll bet you this is going to be the one, the hard one to find in the case. This one right here. This one here. I'll bet you some collectors are just going to leave this behind. Come on. We'll leave it for the kids anyways. This is the one I wish you luck finding. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Bye-bye.